Alright, it is still the weekend, so not too much data to go off of, but that is the reason we're probably seeing these low volume, volatile price swings on the chart. Just kind of keep swinging out of the range within here on Bitcoin and reversing back to the mean. But in doing so, we are continuing to build bullish structure, grabbing that liquidity that we had discussed in yesterday's video. Now, something noteworthy is the Ethereum ETF is now confirmed for July 23rd. So that is in just 2 days from now. That is going to be a huge event. Will it be a sell the news event? In my opinion, just going based off the last ETF launches, probably. So let's keep that in mind depending on what sentiment gets like in the market going up into that ETF launch. We are seeing some meme coins go absolutely parabolic. You look at something like MOG, this chart looks ready to skyrocket. This is my ETH beta play for that ETF. I do expect some massive gains to happen here, but if we do get those insane gains, if MOG skyrockets 5x in the next couple of days and we see mass euphoria coming back into the market, we have celebrities putting on the pit vipers and laser eyes, just like we are starting to see today. Elon Musk put on the laser eyes. He didn't really say it was correlated with crypto, but we all know what that means. So in general, my thesis remains the same. I believe we're in that impulsive phase for Bitcoin where we should shoot up to all-time highs, especially with these liquidity swings that we already saw on the charts. And I do expect once the market opens around current price, where CME is, so we don't create a CME gap, that we will have clear skies to have a continuation on up to the top side of this range. And I do expect us to at least get up into this first box of liquidity by the time we do get that Ethereum ETF. So here are my kind of two plans. If we do launch up to all-time highs just immediately in the next 2 days, the Ethereum ETF drops right up here. Maybe that's where the top comes in. I might be selling a significant amount of my portfolio at that time, depending on what certain assets are doing. Is that likely? Probably not. I mean, a 2-day candle to get us to all-time highs, while it's certainly possible, it's not the likely scenario. But what is likely is to get up into this volume and box of liquidity that I have marked out around the $70,000 level. And assuming we do get up here with mass euphoria in our risk on assets, we see retail FOMOing back into the markets, I will once again be looking to take out big hedge short positions just to try to make some gains to the downside, because I do think, going based off history, this ETF launch could likely be a sell the news event. We could see price reject from here. Although I will say, if we don't go to all-time highs, if we don't grab that top side liquidity that we keep talking about, over here on CoinGlass, this massive block of liquidity above those all-time highs that goes up to around $75,000. Assuming we don't grab that, then I would be looking for just a bullish correction to go ahead and retest potentially this volume level within here. I'd be looking to take, a short from the top side of this range back to the point of control for that continuation to actually break out to all-time highs. And I think that would set us up for a nice bullish case as well. I'm not saying that the top has to come in here, right? I've been saying that's my base case, and I do think a secondary high into this level and then a rollback would be your most likely scenario. Probably going to have some big weekly bearish divergences within this area, a swing failure pattern of those highs on the weekly time frame. And this is kind of what I'm planning for within here. But will the price react how I'm expecting? Probably not. I'm not Nostradamus. You can't really predict price action exactly. You can just identify your levels and react according to the probabilities. But let's go ahead and jump here to the short-term time frame and talk about what this kind of was within here, why we swing down so violently earlier in the day and are already back up at the local highs. And that is simply the single prints that we had talked about in yesterday's video, the sweep level that we had marked out on the chart. There was a lot of liquidity built down at this level, and Bitcoin likes to take out late longers. There was certainly a lot of late longers within here. Nothing too clear on the order flow, right? We see longs closing here. We see shorts opening here. Doesn't seem like a lot of longs are getting trapped, but just on a liquidity basis, there are going to be a lot of longs that are trapped down here. So this quick wick to go ahead and grab them all, resetting this open interest, is something that is actually very bullish to see on the charts and shows that we're likely not going to retest that level with the buying pressure we saw when we did get down to that level. So that is really good to see there. We had talked about long positions in my last video and why you shouldn't take them. This is why you shouldn't take them. Even if price is very bullish, leveraged positions are a different game than spot. Price can wick down and scam you out of that position if you're not entering in the right area. So that's something to keep in mind. Is it the time too long now that we've already had the scam wick? No, absolutely not. I mean, we're back up at the highs. If anything, I'm just looking to wait for markets to open, see if we do go ahead and swing up to $70,000. If we swing fail this during the Ethereum ETF and still have the CME gap down here, then you're looking to take shorts, fill CME gap, and then then you could take longs back in this area after we've made a move like this potentially. But yeah, still the weekend, we are above CME right now. You know, CME is at 67,300. We're at 67,800. Definitely not the time to FOMO in long. But is it time to take out short positions? And in my opinion, once again, no, it is not. We are in this low volume gap within here. There is not really much confluence level-wise to take any positions here. Once again, I think the next target for Bitcoin is absolutely up at the $70,000 level, and it should get there by Tuesday when that Ethereum ETF does launch. And then that will be some real exciting price action, assuming we get up here on Tuesday. This will probably be some sort of sell the news event. We will probably retrace back down and then find support somewhere lower, as long as we're not squeezing into all-time highs. If we do some crazy wick through all-time highs and then come back under, that would concern me. But assuming that doesn't happen, we just kind of reject off this area, would be looking for just pullbacks that are bullish for that continuation on up to break into all-time highs. So definitely just be cautious when we do get up here. There's also the chance we don't really hold this point of control and come all the way back down to value area low CME gap and then come back up, flip that into support. If we look at when these ETFs have come out previously, we can see they do mark pretty substantial pullbacks. This was the Hong Kong ETF launch. Bitcoin then goes ahead and pulls back 15% from there. Before that, we had the US ETFs launch right up here at the highs. In January, Bitcoin went ahead and pulled back around 20% from that ETF launch. So do I expect it to be any different? Well, not necessarily, but it also doesn't have to pull back 15 or 20%. Let's just assume it tops out at this volume level within my gap. We could see just a 10% pullback to this point of control. I think that's a very realistic scenario. That's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. But yeah, 15% not out of the question. That would fill the CME gap, and that would still be considered a bullish correction, although at that point we would be losing some structure, right? I don't really want to just be spending forever in this range. I think that would be another sign of weakness, showing that we're probably not going to do much more than a grab of liquidity before rolling over, and I would even be kind of scared at this point. So I don't know, there's a few possibilities that can happen with this ETF launch. There's still always the case we kind of come up here, flip this into support, and then go for all-time highs. And then this is the question, right? Will we backtest, go for it, or will we fail at that point? We will have to wait and see, but one thing is for certain, I do believe all-time highs is getting very, very close, and the breach of that $70,000 level is even closer. So yeah, that is going to be my quick update on Bitcoin for the day. If you do have any questions about anything I talked about, or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also down there you will see a VIP Discord that is specifically for leveraged traders, and I am including as much content, as much value as possible to make it worth your money. So go ahead, click that link, and you can read all about what it offers. Also have more information about that in the free Discord. And not only that, but down in the description down below, you will also see links for a BingX event right now. That is limited time for the month of July. If you want to earn yourself some awesome rewards on a great exchange, make sure to go check that out as well. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.